Let's get into it then. If everybody else is all ready and everything. Team news first ahead of this big game this Friday.
Yeah, so we're not going to know our team until later on the week. So there's a few players in doubt at the moment. So we'll finalise that later in the week.
Okay. Obviously, a good win, a high scoring win at Wakefield last time out. I saw just there the Super League's team of the week, Tom Opicic, Mikey Lewis, both in it. How pleasing was that?
Yeah, good to see both those guys play well. Good to see them getting some ball, especially Tom. Show what he's capable of once he gets some nice early ball. He's probably not known for his attack as his defense is what stands out for me. But there's no doubt he's a good attacking centre once he gets the footy in his hands. And with Mikey, Mikey's going through his development stages. He's going to have his ups, he's going to have his downs. But certainly last week he had a good game. Sorry, a great game, and it's always pleasing seeing Mikey run around with a smile on his face.
I was watching a little bit of the BBC Super League show. Ashton Golding was on as the sort of summariser, and he sort of signalled out Mikey, saying, and I've got some quotes here, saying he's mastering his craft and he's marshalling the troops, particularly in the absence of Jordan Abdul. Is he mastering his craft at such a young age, do you think?
Oh, look, he's got a lot of learning. There's no doubt, Mikey. He's got a bright future, and he can do things that you can't coach. But he's still only at the start of his journey for me. Like he's still at these development stages. Um, in terms of organising a team, that's not Mikey's strength, but it doesn't have to be when you've got Jordan Abdul and Rowan Milnes there to do that. But the key for Mikey now is just being consistent. If he's consistent and he's running the footy, and he's working hard in defence and making his tackles, then we'll see a good development and growth in him. So he's at the starting point of his career. I think sometimes you can get a bit carried away with younger guys, too early in their careers. The key for Mikey now would be to be consistent with that performance and back it up, because there is a lot of competition in the team.
So that win over Wakefield made it six played this season, three wins. I mean, obviously you'd like to win all six, but how happy are you with that record where we're, just over a month gone in the season?
Yeah, look, obviously you want to have as many wins as possible, but I think when you break the season down, game by game, I think we're reasonably happy. With what we've done, we've had some adversity around who's been in and who's out, but we've said all along we're a squad, and whoever comes in, the next man up mentality. They've got a job to do. They know what that job is. So the pleasing part is most players that have come in have stepped up. We definitely want to get some cohesion now and get some consistency around who takes the field, without having to chop and change through injury. So that's hopefully going to come soon. But no doubt, mate, we're heading in the right direction. We've been in every game. We've been the main part, or the main area that I wanted to make sure, and for the fans, because that's what they asked me to do at the start, was have a team that was competitive. We're doing that. We're a competitive team. Now it's about taking that next step, being a bit smarter in different areas, and making sure that we can start to win those tighter games. Because at the end of the day, it's all about winning those tight games. Will get you there at the end of the year.
How pleasing was it to, some more sort of good news at the weekend, I suppose, for the club, to have Ryan Hall signed up for another year?
Yeah, outstanding for the club. When I first come on board, Hawley I was in Australia at the time, and he made it pretty clear that he wanted to keep going. And obviously, I said, "Yeah, we'll have a look at it in the right time. You'll show me sort of three actions," and he's done that. He came back after a good little break after the World Cup, and probably wasn't in the best condition for Ryan Hall. But what I saw after that was, I saw a guy that's obviously been playing for 16 years now, an ultra professional that knows his body. He knew what to eat, he knew how to train, he knew how to get his body ready to go. I said to him, he said to me, sorry, that he was going to be ready for that round one Wigan game, and I sat back and just watched how he did it and how he went about his business, and it was really professional. So for me, he's still producing on the field, but it's what he can bring around the place as well. For the younger guys to see what a Ryan Hall does and how to go about your business to be a Super League player, that's value in itself. Because the reality is at the moment, mate, we have people in our team that probably don't know what it takes to be a Super League player. We're educating them as much as possible. But he's a living proof for me that, age is just a number. It will catch up at some stage, but he'll let us know when that is.
Has he given you any indication that this is what happens at the end next season?
Oh, look, a lot of time before then, but no, he's giving an indication that he'd like to go as long as he can. And then, from what I believe, I retired a lot earlier than that. But from what I'm led to believe, there comes a stage where you wake up and you go, I can't do it anymore. And we've spoken about that. When that day is for Hawley, we'll work it out down the track. But if he keeps producing what he's doing on the field for us, he's certainly in the top 3 to 5 wingers, with no doubt in the competition. Still at his age, so if he keeps doing that, we'll have a look at it again next year. But there's a long way to go before now and then.
It's one of his former teams here this Friday, Leeds Rhinos. They've got an identical sort of points tally from their opening 6 games to yourself, 6 from 6. But they perhaps are coming off, whether it's a surprise win or not over the Catalans the last time out, I don't know, but certainly they ended their 100% record. So how sort of confident do you think they're going to be coming into this one?
Yeah, no doubt. They're a confidence team. When they've got momentum, that's how they like to play. If they don't have momentum, they'll try and find it and get it back with some short game moments, whether it's a kick across field like they did last week inside their own 20. They'll look for short kickoffs. They'll look for short dropouts. They like to try and get momentum back that way. So, we'll just control what we can and what we've done. And we're happy to keep being whole KR, because that's who we've been for the first sort of 5 to 6 weeks, and we know who we are. We know our identity as a team. As I said before, we just need to be a little bit smarter in some areas, but we've got control of all of that. So that's the main thing.
And I suppose, I've just said there, how confident will they be coming into it? On the flip side, how confident do you feel going into it?
Yeah, look, you're confident, and you need to be confident going into every game, but you also need to respect the opposition. So there's no doubt that we've got respect for Leeds. They're grand finalists last year. They've just beaten Catalans. It was a great win. They had 12 men at one stage. That's probably when they played their best. But we're building. There's no doubt about that. We're building to the team that we want to be. So you go out and you need to action. Like, we just had a really good positive training session then. So that gives you confidence. That gives you belief. But there's no doubt from what we've done in the first 6 games that we're building in confidence. And that's the main thing for this group is to build that belief, because we want to be there at the end of the year. But you need to have your little wins along the way. So we're getting there.
The game after this one is the derby. Is there any part of you that can sort of think even a little bit about that game at this stage?
No, other than having I've got an interview later in the week that obviously, that's going to, you need to talk about it. But honestly, you need to worry about this week. If we don't worry about this week against a Leeds team, the way they play, we'll be in for a bit of a shock. So for us, it's about, you always worry about the next. For us, it was our next session, which was then. The players now doing weights, and they'll get a day off, and then we'll worry about captain's run into Leeds. But yeah, we'll worry about that, mate, when we have to.
Can I just ask one last one as well about sort of how you were feeling about sort of life living in East Yorkshire? I'm looking out the window now. It's a wee bit grey. We are in spring now and all of that. I know you've lived over here before, but a bit different to Tyneside and Greater Manchester. How are you feeling now that you've been here a few months?
Yeah, really enjoying it. Settled in, family settled in. Obviously we love it here. It's a place, hopefully we can call home for a long time. Obviously the wins and losses determine a lot of that. So that's determines how happy we are at home, or I'm at home with the family. But no, it's been good, mate. The family's obviously made a lot of sacrifices coming over. but they've settled in. The kids have settled in at school, and we're really enjoying our time here. So it's mate. I've been to England before. I know what it's all about. I love the place. I don't love the weather. It can get like last week. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be great, and then today you have a cold snap again. But we're nearly on the other side of that. So I'm looking forward to a nice summer with the long days. But yeah, thank you. We're settling in. We're enjoying it.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, Willie.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Good, right. A bit more on team news then. Frankie Halton, Jordan Abdul, Dean Hadley are there back in contention this week after the HIAs.
Yeah, they will. So just got one more from Dino to get through. The other two are fine.
Dino was feeling a bit sick, wasn't he? Is he recovered from that?
No, yeah, no, he's fine, mate. It's just because he's had another one, just needs to get a tick off. But he's seen all the specialists and gone through all the protocols and passed that. So it's just one more tick off.
Ryan Hall, obviously, we spoke a little bit on tech, but how is he holding up? Is he still touch and go as it stands?
Yeah, it's still touch and go. So we're not sure with Hawley. Tom Opacek, not sure at the moment. He came off with a groin issue last week. So he's another one, mate.
So, yeah, obviously, the reserves are playing as well. So I suppose for you, you've got a bit of a selection headache now with 3 players coming back, but we've already spoke about, haven't we? The lads who won't make the 21 for Leeds will obviously be playing in the reserves as well. So it's good for you to see that continuity. I know you've wanted it for some time now.
Yeah, definitely. It's we want to have our full squad available, and the beauty, I suppose, with the guys that have played, especially around that forward pack, is there's going to be players miss out that it's unfortunate for them. And again, you're still trying to find the right blend of who is your best pack or who is your best 17. But that evolves, that changes throughout the year, and wins and losses and poor performances, suspensions. Obviously, we've seen some suspensions there, and obviously the one that we don't want is injuries. So it all balances out, but you want to have a headache as a coach and the coaching staff to be able to pick 17 or be able to pick out of the full squad. But the pleasing part is, we've got a reserve grade game this week, and the players want to play. That's what they want to do. So it's good to be able to play both grades this weekend.
I know you can't really judge a team on a pre-season friendly, but of course you did play Leeds a few weeks back at Craven Park. Can you take anything from that? Or I know it's going to be a totally different proposition, less players and stuff, but do you have confidence in the fact you do know a little bit about Leeds because you've witnessed it as a coach yourself?
Oh, look, they've evolved since then. There's no doubt. It was a friendly. It was we played well that day, but like you say, mate, it was only a friendly at the time. You're chopping and changing players, so it is different now in terms of fatigue sets in. You have to play players for certain minutes where back then you could put players on and off in terms of the friendly. So we don't read too much into that. Like naturally, we'll look into what we've done the last sort of few weeks. Leeds to be confident after last week. We know that, but again, we're in full control of the outcome, and if we get ourselves right and keep working towards, I thought last week our defence really showed up. It showed how connected the group is, how hard they work for each other. So that won't change this week. We need to have the same mindset. It was pleasing to score a few points, but we always said, once we get our defence right, you build confidence in your attack. You get more opportunity with the ball. You get in better field position, and then that's no different this week. So we'll be looking to shut down a few of their key men and make sure that we defend the way we did last week.
And final one for me before I let you go. Obviously, you are big on milestones. It was Elliot Minchella's 50th for Hull KR, I believe. Just a word on him. It was good to see him cap that, that landmark off with a try. I thought he went really well at Wakefield.
Yeah, he did, mate. He did. So he's another player that's missed out, because of the competition that we have. But what I will say is Minnie handled that like a professional. We gave him feedback. He sourced the feedback, took it on board, and then went and worked on it. And that's what you want to see. It's difficult. The difficult part of any coach is having to drop players, especially players that are good people and they're doing their best. Well, there was a few areas that we need to work on. He went away, did that, came back, extremely hungry. And now for him, like anyone, mate, it's about consistency. So if he's consistent with those performances, then he'll stay in the team like anyone else.
Perfect. Thanks, Willie. Best of luck. See you Friday.
Joe, thanks, mate.
Hi, Willie. You all right?
Oh, is that sorry, Cameron? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
Pretty good. I won't keep you long. I'll only ask you one question. How good is it back to be? Let me try again. How good is it to be back at home this week? It's one of the best atmospheres in the league, isn't it? Craven Park.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. We'll be talking more about it. We touched on it this morning, and we'll definitely be talking more about that at Captain's Run. We put in some good performances. That first game against Wigan was obviously, a really strong performance, and we got the result. But fell short against Warrington. We weren't happy with our game against Lee, even though we just fell short at the end. So the point I want to make is, we want to go out and put in a great performance this week for our fans and get a result. That's basically what we want to achieve. You don't want to look too far ahead, look at the outcome too much, but that's in reality, mate. We want to go out, put on a good performance, and win for our fans at home because we've had support at when we went to Catalans. We had support over there. We had support when we went to Wakefield, but there's nothing better than when you play at Craven Park and you can hear those fans. So it's going to be a big game Friday. Looking forward to it, and hopefully the fans get behind us. Not hopefully they will get behind us, but hopefully we give them something to yell and scream about.